Welcome to Tag Talk, episode 18, the most content-free Nerf content on YouTube. Tonight we're talking about District 23.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, we got there eventually. Good.
Yep.
So, episode 18, District 23, brand new venue, and three quarters of us were there. Boneheed wasn't for reasons which I can't quite really remember. What was your excuse, mate?
It had a bad week.
I'd had a very, 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 very heavy week,
Oh,
and
I
I
remember that.
needed a personal
Yeah,
day. Yeah,
I remember. Which
just
did.
things. I'm a mental health first aider at work, and I'd done a course on it, and it's quite heavy subject matter. So I just needed some me time to not be around other human beings for a while.
And
Not
that
being
is
around potential patients for
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
and
Mental
that is
patients.
good drills on on Bonehead's behalf for recognizing that sometimes real life is more important than our stupid tagging game.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
was gutted. I mean, I was packed. I'd got all my gear ready. I was raring to go. Really looking forward to shooting Spectre with my new Dart Zone toys. And then it was just, it got to a point the night before where I was like, do you know what? I just can't. I can't do this. I'm gonna take a day out. So yeah, I as Spectre said, it's a very good idea when you're in that position to not push yourself. And I'm glad I did, even though I'm gutted that I missed the event. So yeah, I'm here now for sort of moral support and banter.
Always, always. Adam, you want to jump straight in there and try to keep us vaguely on topic?
Yep. Okay. So, new venue. So this was District 23 up in, I'm going to say Middlesbrough, which is going to upset people because it isn't Middlesbrough, it's more Billingham.
It's close enough for
Uh,
Middlesbrough.
yeah, exactly. So this is the venue that I'd actually approached post-pandemic when I was looking for new venues. I'd had a vague yes from them originally. I'd never pursued it because for a couple of the venues in that area who were a pain in the ass to deal with, and I think I'd just bundled them all in my head as being a bit of a pest to deal with. So I'd never pursued it. But we had Unit 26 September. I'm looking at Boneheed. Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. Sounds about
So we
right.
had Unit 26 in September, really good event, and I love my CQB venues. I knew District 23 was CQB, but had two stories. And the only the two-story venue we really have access to is Eyeballs. So it was a kind of no-brainer for me to go, okay, I've got a vague yes, I'm going to push it. We'll see if we can get a venue. And it was a really quick turnaround from could we possibly have it? These are the dates I'd like to, okay, I'll take that date. I'll get it booked. I expected this to be a really easy one to fill, 4 hour event, not far off the A1, decent distance for the Scottish players to come down to, decent distance for us to go up to from the UK side. There's quite a few players in that kind of Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Sunderland area. So I thought it'd be a nice, easy venue to fill. We had 13 tickets sold, which is kind of the low end for me. And obviously Boneheed pulled out at the last moment. But the numbers were kind of filled by Team Wolfrana coming to their first BGUK event, which was nice to see them. Obviously, I've met them, I think, somewhere else.
Bonefest, probably.
No, because I didn't make it to FanFest. I've met at least one of them before. So yeah, good to meet them, get them into my kind of style gameplay. So yeah, real nice venue. Oh, get into that. So the venue is a big warehouse on the outskirts of Middlesbrough, next door to a Tesco's. Tin roof, like most of our venues are, Foundry, Unit 26. But it's big and open. My reckoning is about 50 meters by 30 meters, which puts it on the bigger side of the venues we use. And it was set up in kind of a really nice mix of the venues we have. So it was very much like Laser Mania or Nerf Mania's kind of urban town kind of layout with buildings. But then you had the upstairs element on those buildings, which kind of makes it a bit more like the I Combat Leeds, the Eyeballs venue. So with 2 stories, very steep accesses between the levels. I made it as having 9 sets of stairs. I don't know if anyone else managed to count them. But it meant there was a
I'm
really
thinking.
nice
Well, yeah.
one where we went in, 1, 2, 3, 2 in the building, one on the side, 2 on that side, 9 or 10. So it was very easy to move between levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the upstairs was very much you're going between open bridges into almost the wooden CQB maze of Unit 26. So it was a very nice venue in that it took all the bits we like of other venues and put them into one place, and played incredibly differently to what I personally expected. So we had 16 players. I expected it to be quite long range because of the size of the venue and maybe quite a lot of shooting between levels. What I found was that it was very much intense action within the downstairs bits where there was action and intense action upstairs, but not much interaction between levels. So I'm
I
intrigued on
think
how you.
I would say yes, in agreement with that. But one thing is that there wasn't a great, or I felt, other people might differ, I felt that there wasn't necessarily the length of sight lines from upstairs, downstairs that would allow
Yeah,
you to pepper people. Basically, you could see what was in front of you, what was to the sides of you, and then essentially what was essentially just below you, because there it was packed.
yeah,
As much as
and
it's a
that's
big
Very
space,
dense environment.
yeah, exactly, very dense
which I
environment. Yes,
wasn't
not a
expecting
lot of, not a
from
lot
the
of,
pictures. I thought there was going to be much longer sight lines,
yeah,
so I'd prepped my own gear for that kind of encounters.
yeah,
So
and
I
that on you go, Spectre. Yeah,
I brought two primary loadout ideas because I knew it was a CQB environment, but I'd seen the photos. So I had intended to I brought my Storm set up for 145, and I'd also brought my MP5K, which is basically my pew pew pistol ranged out to being like a small form factor primary.
It's very nice.
It's a very nice bit of kit,
I
but
covered that blaster. It's lovely.
I'll break your
well, you
fingers.
cover everything.
That's true. But after the first game, I switched almost exclusively to using the MP5K because having the ability to saturate places with basically to fill an area with foam was way more useful than accurate long
Precision,
range.
yeah,
Which is a very big change from Laser Mania, where whilst it has some tight places, there are a couple of really nice long sight lines,
yeah,
particularly from the tower and across to the rest of the building. So the long range shots are a thing, and Adam and I have talked about this before. Long range shots really matter, and if you're not sitting right on the kind of edge of the FPS limit, you can get outranged. Whereas I think you could and indeed the event organizers, the site runners, in the after immediately after us, they had kids in there with absolutely stock
yeah.
Elite 2.0, and it was fine. And I think there were a couple of points where if you were on the upper level, you got a couple of good kind of viewpoints over, but there was nowhere you could stand and shoot down that didn't also expose you to fire from 3 or 4 other places on the upper level. So there wasn't ever a situation where someone could just kind of camp on the upper level and be like, I got you, and I got you, and I got you. Like I definitely did some firing from up and down, but it was always a case of the person down there hasn't seen me, so I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that they haven't looked up, rather than trying to cover from an elevated position.
See, that's very different from what we see in the eyeballs games that Adam runs.
Yeah.
There's a couple of areas in that particular arena where literally, unless someone has encroached on your spawn point, you can essentially sit and rain down fire on the lower level.
Yeah.
Most of my footage is usually from there because I find it easy just sitting on one knee with my monolith and just peppering fire down at people below me.
It does turn out eyeballs does have a sort of shooting gallery feel to those upper sections.
Yeah.
And the District 23 one definitely didn't feel as if that was the case. Um, it really, and for you've got like you've got multiple levels things, or you got like height variations in different venues. But that I think was genuinely the first time that I thought I really need to rethink how I actually approach playing this game, because it's not just it's not what's in 180 degrees in front of me. It's also got to deal with,
Is
90
anything
degrees.
above me
Yeah,
that
yeah.
might see me?
So it's you suddenly go from what's there to having to like look on two different planes, and there I got tagged quite a few times, very good shots by people, getting surprised things where I'm just thinking I haven't paid enough attention, but you never felt comfortable.
Yeah, which I'm going to touch. I don't know whether you two found it. I found I moved around a lot more than I normally would. So, like Nerf Mania, you'd move around, but you'd find good spots, kind of camp. Eyeballs, we do the same. Unit 26 was like point you go to that you're going to be kind of good point of view from.
Yeah, known choke points, really, isn't there?
Yeah,
in
so
Unit 26.
District 23, partly because it's the first time we've been there, but I found that I was having to move all the time. If I was upstairs, I didn't know whether I was going to be attacked from there, attacked from there, attacked from there, attacked from there. There were so many good points to come up from. Partly because, like I say, nine ways to get up, the ability to shoot up and down. It just felt like I was having to move around to try and get good angles to keep myself out of angles as well.
Yeah, because there's nowhere in that arena that you can't approach from at least two directions.
Yeah.
And so like if you're kind of put up in a doorway, then there is absolutely nothing stopping somebody going underneath you, up behind you, and then coming around behind you. Like there were several points where a couple of players had kind of come up on a doorway, and I would basically just come up behind them because they're expecting that from behind it's their spawn point. But because you can go up and down and change levels, you could literally just come up behind them and go tap tap on your shoulder. You're out, and just kind of work your way from the rear of the engagement. And yeah, I would go so far as to say that it is my new favorite venue. And like that's unseated the Foundry, and that takes a lot.
I only went to the Foundry once, and the Foundry was an amazing venue. Had the Foundry still existed, that would have been a very difficult um, discussion to have. But because we no longer have the Foundry, yes, I do agree that District 23 has basically went, this is the peak. This is what you should be looking for in the venue. To go back to your thing about not feeling safe, should have I need to actually sit and look through the video, but there's a firefight between me and Darren, and Garbett sneaks up behind me by literally coming in through the floor beneath me, coming up the stairs, waiting until I'm reloading, popping up and shooting me. Right? He was so proud of that, and rightfully so because it was brilliantly done. But you had to keep constant awareness.
Yeah.
Okay, and brilliant. I think that's just a key
there'll be a bit of
elevating
footage in the second bomb game where I think Spectre's defending the bomb, and he calls, "Oh, Ross is to your right." And to my right, there's one way, another way, a stairs right in front of me, and then I'm covering the left and in front of me at the same time. And I'm like,
which right? Which right?
And it's like, okay, I know he's going to come from the right, but is he coming that way or that way? And it turns out he's like literally sitting at the bottom of the stairs, shoots my hat off with the camera on. And he goes, I totally agree. There are some issues with the venue, which I'll cover in a second, but yeah, it is kind of a pinnacle of what we've got access to. So it's urban, it's CQB, it's two-story, it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. Um,
And
so
just to quickly jump in there, the safe zone is really good.
yes, and
Um,
toilets.
yes, as well. But the safe zone, it's something that we don't really discuss
Yeah,
because it's just basically it's a prep area, right? But you had lights, carpets, and plenty of space on the top, and then also storage underneath.
underneath. Yeah,
So you could get your kit out, you get everything sorted, then you could put your boxes away. You had a free workspace, and that's something where, not to dismiss any of the other venues, because again, it's limited with what you've got and what you've got in terms of space and cash there. But it's something that I think is a point that's often not focused on. Is
yes.
just
So
how because you can get some really iffy places for space for safe zones and toilet facilities, and then you can get potty clash.
the quarry, yeah.
I
Yeah,
was just going to say
Amazing
we
gear repair, amazing toilets, but
yeah.
like you say, no ability to store gear. Um, so
Good
Foundry, you
trade-off.
could put your gear underneath. Unit 26, you can. But eyeballs for gear repair area is tiny. We are crammed, which is luckily because we use Rival. No one's really packing much gear. Laser Mania, terrible area to load up in. So we try and keep games moving. But yeah, again, agree. The gear repair area was good. Toilets were good, which shows kind of how old we're getting when we're saying toilets are good. Um, so yes, I think it's a really good venue. Personally, I kind of prefer Unit 26 because I like my CQB more CQB, but I do think it's probably up there. I Unit 26 Foundry and that, but that's because I like my CQB and Foundry. I played an awful lot of games there. So
A
I,
soft spot for you.
it kind of felt like home, and I really do miss it. And I wish they hadn't knocked it down, and I wish I had money to buy it. But so yeah, but there are issues. So we
can I just
arrived.
jump in there actually, as someone who never actually played at Foundry. I can see the benefits of U26. I think that's a great, really good venue, probably my favourite of the lot that we've played at. But Unit 26 feels very much like several different play areas.
Yes, it's
Whereas from what you're saying with District 23, it's very much everywhere is fair
one.
game. Wherever you are, you
Yes,
can get shot at from anywhere. Whereas if you're
yeah,
upstairs in D20 in U26, people
it is
downstairs are
totally separate.
inconsequential.
Yeah,
There's no danger from there. And that's one of the things I quite like about Dishfith as well. There's, if you play in the full site like we did at Planetfall, um, okay, the engagement distances were considerably greater, but you could have someone in the skeleton shooting at someone in the big six or the big five, potentially. And I think me and Spectre had a bit of a ding dong at one point during that. So I do like the idea of being able to sort of cross into different areas, but also the way Unit 26 is set up, I think is really good for that because it just kind of gives those separate areas and little kind of I'm
yeah.
safe here.
So for those two, for Spectre's benefit, so he's not been to Unit 26. Unit 26 has the main arena and a dark zone you can cut through, and then an upstairs that is above the dark zone that you can cut through. But the upstairs really does feel separate. It's great because you can have, so when we do Meltdown, upstairs becomes a fire fest. And downstairs is almost empty, so you get a very different gameplay style. Um, but this one, I think even at eyeballs, the upstairs feels quite distinct.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can range shots down, but you can't really range shots up into it. Here, it was all in one. It really is a nice combination. And
Mm.
the issue I'm going to say is the staff were not particularly the best. So we booked for 11 till 3, and every other venue, they wouldn't book somebody in until probably 4 o'clock. As far as I was aware, there was nothing in until like 5 or 6 with the airsofters. So at 2:45, they come into the arena and go, "We need you out in 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, but we've been till 3. Oh, we've got a party at 3.
It's not just we need you out of the arena, we need you out
It
the
was,
building.
we had to be clear, we had to do a dart sweep, we had to get all our gear out of the building, and we were out at about 10 seconds past 3. So
I've never seen us move that quick.
no,
Yeah.
we were literally throwing gears into tubs and pulling it out. Everybody pitching in to get everybody sorted.
Yeah, that was quite an impressive bug out.
It was
You know.
an amazing bug out, but it just kind of soured it for me because up until that point, I'd have gone, yeah, I'll happily hire this whenever somebody wants a 2-story venue. If Captain Xavier on one of his recent videos was saying about a laser tag site, and it's like the best venue he's been to since Foundry, and I'm thinking, well, we have other venues now, but I'd love to get you another theatre. And it's one of those things that if Captain Xavier said, I'm coming over, I'd have gone, yeah, I'll book District 23. And then that happened, and it's like, just lowers it down for me. If somebody else wants to run it, Spectre, you are more than welcome to. I'll make the trip up.
I'll be honest. I think part of the thing that was most frustrating about that was we thought, right, well, at 2 o'clock we'll do a dart sweep, and then we'll do a couple more games, and then we'll have like from 3 to half 3 to kind of pack everything down and do a final sweep. If we had been told from the beginning that we had to be everything cleared out by 3, we wouldn't have bothered with the 2 o'clock dart sweep. We'd have just kept playing until 2:45 and then gone, right, done, everybody out.
Yeah.
Whereas we lost probably a game's worth of playtime. But these are the kind of teething troubles that you get anytime you use a venue for the first time. And we'll know for next time. And we can either say, hey, can you either tell us in advance that you've got somebody coming in so we can plan for it, or, not.
Yeah.
I think just a quick communication of, by the way, you've got until 3. We expect you out at 3.
Half an hour.
Yeah.
And
like,
space.
You can't argue with the business making the decision to put another group in that time slot, because it's a business. They've got to make money, otherwise they close. That's what happened to Anarchy. Like we've got 4 games out of that before the company went under, and that's horrific because they just can't get the throughput to keep things going. So I've got no objection to them doing that, but telling us
a little bit more notice would have been nicer. Yeah,
telling us 15 minutes before out was like, oh, okay, cool. But fortunately, like, we're all relatively seasoned at this now. We all pack our gear in kind of specific ways, so we're all quite ready to do it. And the reason why
everyone was so willing to pitch in and get everything sorted.
But the reason why Get Out takes so long is because we're sitting and nattering and talking about, oh, that was so cool, or that was so cool, whereas if we just be like, focus,
which we've ended in the car park for half an hour.
Yeah. And then
I suppose there's also trying everyone's new toys as well.
2 hours afterwards,
Oh man, I'm so gutted I didn't get to play around with your Vector. But mine arrives tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so that's something I was going to touch on later on. I was going to bring both my Vector and my Vulcan to the event for Spectre to play around with, and obviously didn't end up turning up. But I'm sure I'm not the first person in the UK to have one of these, but I know I'm up there.
Pretty much a first.
There's not many. I literally pre-ordered this from Blaster Time when it came out. Lovely little blaster, by the way. It's so snappy a trigger. It's just the mag compatibility is an issue. But it's similar to some of the Nerf Pro stuff in that it's got a stock mount. It's a nice little blaster. 2S, it will hit about 1 joule, but normally on a 3S or on the full, I think it's 8 AA's, it's hitting 160-ish. So
it's like the Maxim.
It's standard Dart Zone. It's like your Maxim, it's like your Omnias, it's like anything that you get from Dart Zone. This boy, well too spicy for a 1 joule game. This is hitting 160, even with the B car, which incidentally you can take off. But yeah, that's just far too spicy. Nightingale mags, really lovely prime. Quite light for 160, as you can see. I just dry fired. I'll never do that again. It's a nice little blaster. It's
What gets
really
me
good.
about that is you'd ordered on the Monday, I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they arrived on Friday.
I'd arrived. I think they were probably pre-shipping because they
Yeah.
were released on. I think they were released on the Let's say they were released on the Wednesday, and I got mine on the Friday. But I'd ordered it sort of just before the pre-order date, and they came straight away. They're literally really quick. Saying it was from the Netherlands to the UK,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was really quick.
that Springer pistol is ridiculous,
Yeah.
because that invalidates things like the fire out, the Mark
Yeah.
II, the Mark 2.1.
I disagree. Tell you why. The fire
The
rat.
spiciness.
No. Like I can get a fire rat to 150, no dramas. I can get a Mark II to same numbers. The reason why I carry a Mark II and the reason why I carried a fire rat before I got my Mark II is because it's so easy to holster and easy to keep out of the way.
Yeah.
Whereas that thing
Is
is
big.
a primary class hand cannon.
Yeah. So the whole point of this thing is you've got your rail on the bottom that you can hold your barrel extension on, which makes it look very sci-fi, but at the same time, try holstering that.
Yeah, you're
It's
not.
it's not going to work. You know, even with the barrel on, it's still a chonky boy. It's a big old blaster. It takes Nightingale mags as well, which is good, but you know, how many of the things take Nightingale mags?
If you're in the Nightingale ecosystem, then it's a fantastic. Like one of the things that I always try and do whenever I go to any event is I always bring a Springer that I am comfortable running, because batteries die, flywheelers jam, things go badly wrong. If my Seagull's going to fail, it's going to fail in a manner that means that I can clear it out easily. It's I can't imagine a mechanical failure taking place in a Seagull. Again, touch wood.
I have.
Yeah, let's not talk about you and how you break blasters, because you and Hazard are the same in that for some reason you are always able to find ways to.
This event I didn't, in fairness, but yes, Quarry Crash, Unit 26. What was the one before? Unit 26 before. I have had a bad year for blaster breakages, but so yeah.
But
should we go to game
yeah,
types?
Yes, go.
So I'd kind of planned some rough games that I wanted to try. We got through most of them, which was pretty good. We started with compared to Unit 26 last time, where I set a very harsh set of game types, and it was, you know how fast I can run them. Last Unit 26 was even worse than that.
Footage exists. In fact, it's on YouTube at time of recording.
So I done between the recording for the Unit 26 Tag Talk, which is currently on the desktop just now, getting done. The final video ended up like 1 hour and 9 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, like an hour. Like there was a lot of editing. There was a lot of editing. Okay?
6 hour event, and we must have played 4 hours of gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point
it was exhausting.
You looked like you were about to die by the end of the rough cut game, mate.
Yes.
Like, I felt bad for you. That final 1 minute of the footage is just going.
Bear in mind, I lost 2 games as well on that footage. There were 2 games that, for whatever reason, user error mostly, that they weren't recorded. So, that would have been longer, potentially. Anyway.
So, for District 23, we started with Pinger HVZ, which is my kind of usual starter because no one knows the venue, and it gives you that kind of learn the venue while also worrying about whether people around you are zombies. It was also nice because Team Wolferana have never done that game type before, and neither had Irvin.
Yes.
And Ember's friend came as well. So a lot of new players experiencing that for the game first time. I had a failure. Failure of vision,
Really?
I call it.
Really?
So I was chasing Spectre down in the first round of Ping HVZ. The upstairs was kind of beams with plywood walling on the side of them. I was chasing him down the corridor as I was coming that way, and I caught my finger on a beam and pushed my finger, so it was somewhere over here. It bends now 3 weeks later, but still not right. So I probably broke my finger in the first game, which then made my gear usage for the rest of the event was kind of interesting. So yeah, 2 rounds ping a HVZ. I only played the first one because I was in too much pain. Second one, I took out a fire rat, which has now kind of become my HVZ primary pistol, because I finally made my fire rat work.
For how long?
How long's that taken you?
Yes.
How long have you had yours? About the same amount of time. I lost the mag hold open spring, which we both will know just how much of a pain in the ass that is to deal with. I took the thing about what I found with the fire rat is when I prime it back, I'm priming it back sideways, so it was jamming constantly because it wasn't feeding straight. I bought the metal slide, and it turned it from a total pain in the ass to use to just perfection for me. Which, given I have the Mark II, and I think the Mark II is wonderful, I have the Juice Pro, and my Juice Pro is wonderful. The Fire Rat is just, it's bliss every time you use it.
And now, of course, next time you use it, it's going
to break.
Betray you. It's going to betray you. But
you just said it out loud.
I could imagine that the metal slide would, because if you're priming it sideways, the metal slide will stop you from torquing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even I'm priming sideways. It's just for the torque as I'm priming it's putting it sideways. And I run a little shotgun one-shot shell underneath mine, which I put on after Nerf Mania, where I tried to shoot Spectre in Escalation Zombies. And there's footage of you laughing at me as I miss you because I couldn't prime my fire rat. But yeah, so ping a HVZ is always a really good starter. I don't know if you guys have got any comments on that.
I nearly killed myself. So
that's not good.
There's a stairwell at unit
District 23.
District 23. Most of the stairwells are quite well lit and quite open. This one's kind of a surprise.
Right. There's also one of them has a broken step, I found, as I nearly went through it.
I did not see that, no. But basically, it's a lot steeper than I originally thought. And I basically I very much had that kind of moment of I lost my footing, went down like 2/3 of the flight of stairs in midair, landed and kind of just superhero landing and went, that could have got a lot worse.
Yeah.
Also twitching like a rabbit's nose, I imagine.
So, Boneheed, you know, left-hand side of eyeballs?
Yes.
Where there's that staircase where
that
we
dark
have the
staircase
point.
it's
like that.
Yeah.
All the stairs are the kind of angle of the ramp of eyeballs, but in stair form.
So I was just going to say, when Spectre was talking there, I was just going to say there's a ramp in eyeballs, and it's not very well lit. And one time we went, one of the little sort of barriers down the middle that you're supposed to hold on to was wobbly as hell. And that was when I was wearing the full face mask before I'd got my camera set up, and I couldn't see my own feet. And I nearly went down on my arse on that. And yeah, I again, arsehole twitching like a rabbit's nose for a little while. I was like, oh, that was a thing. I'm glad that didn't happen. Let's move on. Anyway, where are people to shoot?
Yeah, but I mean, fortunately for that one, like that, the zombie chasing me was like, I'm not doing that. And I managed to get away, and that's the only reason I think I survived, because I was the last human standing in round one, and I think that's the only reason I survived, because if I had gone down those stairs normally, they probably would have been able to get a hand on me, but because I just kind of
dived,
I got a gravity assist.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what blaster I was using for that. I know I was using
MP.
No, because I was deliberately trying to avoid using any of my primaries for HVZ.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what I was running as my secondary.
Because I'm pretty sure
it would have been my Diana.
I'm pretty
With
sure
the
I've got this
Madonna.
because that as per usual with HVZ, this is where I sat out and took some photographs. Now, watching it, it was fantastic because there was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of frantic
As we
running
should be.
around. Yes, absolutely. This is the one. This is the one, and this is absolutely such a niche downside that it's really nothing other than an observation. So don't take it in any way other than that. Which is because there's two levels, and it's the line to sight aren't always the easiest because there's a lot of it's quite packed. A lot of the video, a lot of the pictures look like there's one person in
Yes,
it,
I know.
and actually finding pictures that were actually like give a sense of action as opposed to just somebody looking really paranoid and where's the zombies coming from? Like I said,
Hard to do, yeah.
it's not a negative criticism. It's just simply an observation that something that's so packed with scenery and has got two levels to it makes it that had I had the chance to do it again, I
But
would have probably spent the
that's,
time upstairs
yeah.
and focused on being upstairs and looking around much more actively rather than being downstairs. But
And
that's
it touches
purely
on
from a
something we
pictures perspective.
forgot about the venue side is we had 16. We could have had 30 in there and
Oh
you'd
yeah,
still
yeah,
the upstairs fights would have been intense, but it would probably also meant there'd be more downstairs fights. And the gear repair area could definitely have held more of us. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just on the subject of numbers, by the way, Team Wolf Runa's attendance, that was very last minute.
Yes.
Myself and Specs were literally talking to Garber on Helldivers too the night before, and he was asking
yeah.
me questions about what are shield rules, what can we do with this, what can we planning their loadout, and they only decided sort of the night before, or if not the night before that they were going to
I
attend.
found they were coming at about 11 o'clock because somebody said,
Yeah.
we're about to turn up.
I think
Yeah.
it was last. It was
We
very
didn't
last
actually
minute. I
notify
remember
you
that.
of this.
I think we did let you know, but yeah, they were
No,
very last
no,
minute.
no.
But
I was told at the venue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
because we had basically been like, we knew that we only had 13 people signed up, and we very much wanted the event to go well, and we wanted to try and make sure that the event broke even. So I was like, hey Garber, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
And it's like if you can get a train, I will pick you up from the station. And then he was like, well, I've looked at trains and it's really expensive. But on the other hand, I've also talked to the rest of my guys, and the driver for our team is free. So we're all coming. And we were like, great, fantastic. And I assumed the Bonehead was going to tell Adam
no, nobody
because,
tells me anything.
I probably
well,
would have told Adam had I turned up to the event, but obviously
Yeah.
because of
yeah.
other things, I didn't end up turning
Adam,
up. But
so I thought Bonehead was going to tell Adam, and then at like 11 o'clock, Adam is doing his numbers, and I'm like, oh, you've got the Fire Team of Rhino guys coming as well, and he's like, the who now? I'm like, there has clearly been a breakdown in communication.
yeah,
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
and that's
I'm
another reason why I was disappointed I didn't turn up, because I've not met those guys before. So yeah, it was a shame, but yeah, things happen.
Yeah. No,
but they had an absolutely fantastic time. They really enjoyed it.
yeah.
And it's their first game with Adam's rule sets and stuff as well. So I think it's good to get a bit of mixture of your game organisers and stuff, because they're used to the more sort of southern end of the hobby, and that they're in Birmingham, I believe.
I think
yeah.
one of the issues that we had in terms of getting more people is a fair few of the Scottish contingent had already kind of decided they were going to make a week, because there was a weekender event down in London, and they'd already committed to that. So I think there's definitely demand for more games, and indeed, Adam and I have already started talking about, like, well, maybe because Adam likes running, I likes running, and also likes playing, and I like running and I like playing. So we'll figure it out between us so that each of us has to do some responsible adulting at some point.
Oh no, more games to play. What a shame.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about this, I think, in the I'm assuming that David's going to do a tag talk for FDT Pro. Honestly,
That is the intention. Yes, that is the intention.
I love this hobby. I love this hobby a lot, right? But every so often, I just want to go and fling foam. I don't want to be like the team leader. I don't want to be captain. I don't want to be in charge of anything. I just want to fling foam, hit other people. And particularly FDD Pro was a lot. It was like, okay, Spectre, what are we doing now? And I'm like, I
You know.
don't work here. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yes, it was.
Second Clerks reference in this video. Anyway,
Next game type was a new deathmatch variant for me. So because it was District 23, I did mirrored deathmatch. So the attacking team had 23 lives, the defending team had 32 lives. So we did 2 rounds and swap. The idea being that the attackers have a lot less lives to try and eliminate the other team. And normally at Unit 26, I run 10-minute games. I was running 15-minute games here, which personally I found really difficult because all my kind of gear is based around a 10-minute game at Unit 26. I essentially had 2 extra mags for the games for 5 extra minutes. That didn't work. So 2 rounds. I started on. In fact, I think all 3 of us were on the same team. So we started on defense. So with 32 lives. I found that really difficult. I've watched my footage back, so I went upstairs thinking, "Oh, I'll head them off before they can try and get a good headway on me upstairs." And Ross had already made it all the way across the upstairs and was peppering me with shots, and I'm dodging. Obviously, I was finger bust, so not particularly able to use gear very well. We ended up 9 lives left out of the 32 by the time we'd eliminated the other team. We flipped again, so we were on attack. I was using my Hildefleur, and I went through 15 mags in about 9 minutes because it's useful for suppressing Ross.
because Hildefleur go burr.
Hildefleur goes. Hildefleur could also go brr, brr,
Yep.
brr, but he didn't jam this time, which, given its quarry, it had feeding issues because the gear had come off. Unit 26, I jammed it catastrophically. I tried it with Tachi and jammed it catastrophically as well. So it's a little bit temperamental, is that blast, but when it works, it's just bliss. So second round, we were on attack again. 9 lives on the defenders by the time they eliminated us. I like deathmatch over best of times. I always say this.
See, I
But
thought we did better. I thought we did better on the attack. I thought they did better than they did. Was it an actual draw?
It was a draw. It was 9 lives each time. I really enjoy this one because attacking, you need to make those lives count. And on that, when we were defending, I think I lost 3 lives really quickly once I started losing lives. But I think there was one point I literally walked out of spawn and somebody shot me from above. And I say I hate it. It's a part of deathmatch that I know it's part of deathmatch, but when you're losing lives without making any headway in eliminating the other team, I get down. And then I always have a good moment where I blast a load of people and I'm on a stream again. So this one, defending wise, I thought we were doing terribly. Attacking wise, I thought we were on fire. So, like you say, to get to it being a draw, and I thought we were definitely doing better than 9 lives left on that. Great game, love it.
So something that I picked up, particularly in the deathmatch one, but overall, I think it would be helpful to have the spawn points it was fine for the safe zone end because the spawn point had a level immediately above it.
There was 3 stairs within literally slight distance.
I would have moved spawn point for the farthest away team one thing to the right, so it's underneath that stairwell.
Yes.
And then basically have it so you can spawn on either level.
Yes. No,
because otherwise you're having to you're
up and
having
down.
to go up and down. What I was often doing was I was getting to the stairs, stopping at the top of the stairs, and then counting to 10 instead.
Yeah.
Because my knees weren't coping with the stairs very well.
That's what I did in Bomb Run.
Yeah, no, even I've done that once. Not going down those stairs again. No, no.
And I think that comes into my gear thing. So this year I've run a molly belt with pouches on my back. It's been wonderful for me this year. It sucked this event because there was so much up and down movement, and it was just bouncing around too much, not sitting where I wanted it to be. I'd put extra mags on this time that aren't normally there, so it wasn't sitting right. I just screwed up my gear this time on a number of things, and yeah, I totally agree. Next time I would move a spawn. But I really enjoyed that game type because I thought we were doing so much better. And I know we've said this before. I'd rather it be really close.
A game that ends in a draw is the perfect game.
Or a game that is literally down to seconds. Team deathmatch at Unit 26. It literally came down to about 1 second. Having watched the footage back today,
we talked about this last time on the last tag talk. Basically, Adam's whistle. We'd shouted at Adam, "We're out of lives," just as you blew the whistle.
Yeah.
So our team finished seconds before the other team.
So that kind of really close game is something I really enjoy. But yeah, Hilda Friller worked wonderfully. Great for shooting across. So I was trying to stick by our spawn on the attack point because I was in quite a lot of pain. And I could fire halfway across the arena nice and accurately. The other thing I did, so I bought a Fulcrum Airsoft Slam Mine. This is ultrasonic, detects movement. You're meant to be able to put it against metal things. Did you not see this?
No. I did see it. I'm remembering the point where we set it up. It didn't go off all game until you went to collect it.
Yeah. So
it was so funny.
This will be a theme, and I know I've spoken with Fulcrum about this. I've shared the videos with him, and we've gone over where I went wrong. I was putting it on the floor, and it needs to be angled, so I wasn't getting the right angle on it, or it needs to be higher up. But I put it. There was some oil drums and a little kind of building
when we were doing the
over
domination
the bridge.
one in particular.
Yeah. It was really. It kind of just stopped from moving down a whole bridge, that then stopped them flanking us, just from having it in visible sight of them. So, great piece of kit. I suck at placing it, and that's something I'm going to improve at Unit 26. But so much fun just to know that it's there. And I'm going to Irvin, don't go down there, don't go down there. So yeah, really good fun. Anything you guys want to say on Deathmatch?
Deathmatch was great. Loved it. It was really good, kind of, again, in the same way at Ping HVD, it was fast moving. It was fast moving. It felt like everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
The thing about deathmatch is it is more art than science in terms of getting the team's balance right, so it doesn't feel like one team just gets rolled over, because that's not fun for the team getting rolled over. And it's generally, actually, and this is something that we've talked about before, it's not fun for the team doing the steamrolling either.
Yes,
it's like, it feels a little bit like you're bullying. So
yeah.
So team balance was spot on, I think, for this event.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, just on that point, I think we've covered this on a previous Unit 26 video. You're absolutely right, Spectre. If you're on the team that's absolutely dominating, it doesn't feel fun. We had a game, not last time, but the time before, where we'd got 3 Dianas on one team. Yeah, we'd got three or four Dianas on one team, and there was no one using Diana on the opposite team, and it just felt wrong because we were just opening up full auto across no man's land, and no one could move anywhere. And it just, at one point, I said, do you know what? I'm going to switch to semi-auto and stop. And I actually retired Diana after that, because it just felt like we were bullying them almost. And nobody wants that. It's not fun for anyone.
And we had this at one of the garden games where it was essentially some sort of like full pushback style thing, and literally everybody on the defending team had almost everybody had full auto, and the attacking team were single shot springers like seagulls. So like they were not having it, and it's like I think we eventually just went, you know what, let's just call it there. You know, it's been a very good game, but let's just call it there because you're not making this happen.
Gear wise, it was fairly average for everybody. Most people either had a Diana or a piston pump.
Yeah.
There was only really me running anything different, and piston pumps in there were great. You had the Springer accuracy with a rate of fire you want. So,
yeah. Although pretty much everybody apart from me had at least one catastrophic jam at some point, and I think that basically just says again this is always an issue with AEBs, and it's something that people are going to need to get used to. Fresh starts are absolutely essential.
Yeah,
but we did domination after that.
Flux, yeah. So Flux, this was another new variant of Flux for me. With it being District 23, I took my tiles, which are 2 and 3, and put them in pairs. So to score, rather than it just being you control a tile, you had to control both tiles of a 23. And flipping a tile cost you a life. So you had 23 lives on your counter. So flipping one of the tiles to your team's colour cost you a life. So it was a finite number of flips. As it was, most teams didn't flip more than about 5 or 6 times, so it wasn't too bad. But because you had to control 2 tiles and there were 3 sets of tiles, it meant there was a lot more fighting over them, I found. So straight off the bat, we were back spawn, weren't we? Yeah.
Yes.
We took one in the middle in the room near our spawn, and there was one upstairs in the middle and one close to their spawn. We took that first one, then we fought over the others, and then, as we've already alluded to, it ended with basically me, Spectre, and Irvin in the room where the other tile was, other set of tiles near their spawn. We had the slam mine sat there protecting it. We had all 3 of us in the room. We had a nice line of sight into where they were going to leave into the main part of the arena from their spawn through their side of buildings.
Yeah, which kind of forced them to go out
and
the long way around
upstairs, and there was a route into where we were from upstairs, so they could flank us. There was other routes in from where Irving was defending. We weren't safe, but because we had 3 people watching multiple angles, the closest it came was Darren, literally, I think 5 seconds to go or something, coming in, and we just peppered him.
Yeah, they were basically him and Ross decided. So I'd actually been tagged out, and I had gone back to spawn. I had ran my ass back to spawn, and then was coming running back. And I saw them both come from their spawn out towards you guys, and they got just a hail of fire from the doorway. And I had just brought my Diana up on 4. I was sprayed from the side, and basically they were just like, we're hit, because they couldn't stop running in time. And we obviously didn't stop firing because they hadn't stopped moving, but they hadn't stopped moving because they were literally just trying to bomb rush to final objective.
Yeah. Moving at the speed that Darren and Ross usually run.
Yes.
Which is very, very fast.
We love Darren, Ross, we love you, but you know, you could leave the cardio at home, maybe.
It's honestly the fact is like Darren's older than
all of us.
All of us, yeah. I was trying to be polite with that.
The problem is that Darren's best friend is Ross, and Ross
doesn't stop moving.
Yeah. So
Ross is white Usain Bolt is what he is, right? Okay.
That's racist.
Again, we've covered this previously, but the footage from I think it was Planetfall where we thought it was speeded up, and it wasn't, and it was just Ross running the hell away with a spawn point, and we were like, "What? This has got to be on fast forward. It's got to no, that's just Ross moving quicker than the average human being."
But I liked ridiculous. I liked the variant. I liked the fact that it wasn't just. I liked that there was a 2-stage element to the control, and it just meant that someone couldn't just come barreling in, flip it, and keep going. and the fact that it then forced you to go back to your spawn and retag, and that there was basically it was a lot more tactical in terms of
Yeah.
the game, and I think that
Especially
played well to the unit.
the one we were trying to control. I think I'd lost 3 lives before we got full control over it, just trying to keep it flipping to our colour.
Mhm.
And I think you'd gone to it, and I literally were behind you. You flipped one, I flipped one. We both respawned, and then went to defend. And yeah, I had a blast in that game. I didn't even bother going upstairs
Yeah,
that
we kind
round
of abandoned it because we knew we had the one closest to us on lot, and we kind of went.
Yeah,
we
there was Paul and Sarah watching that one and defending that one perfectly. You, me,
Yeah.
and Irvin defending that one. It was nicely tied up. But all it would have taken, a couple of grenades.
Yeah, that was
They could have
surprised
taken
by
3 of us out.
I was surprised by how few grenades were actually present. Like I had 5 on my rig, 2, so that I had 2 for each round, and then a spare for whenever. And I I know I deployed grenades a bunch, but I didn't see a lot of other
I
people.
used some because I had my German stick grenades. Threw one at Darren's feet. It's hilarious. And Paul's feet on footage, and he's going, "You throw sticks at me now." But yeah,
And I had them as well.
but yeah, it all it would have taken was either a flank maneuver or a good grenade throw, and we'd have been clear, and somebody could have taken that. So we won. We won quite comfortably with 2 points, but it could have gone the other way very quickly. So yeah, happy with that one.
A little commentary on the grenades. I didn't have any issue with them, but when I was using them, I tried to throw them up a level, and I was left-hand throwing. I'm right-handed, and I was Diana and right, and trying to left-hand throw. So trying to left-hand throw something, I'm accuracy was not a thing.
I can't throw to save my life. So
Yeah, like I think I tried to throw one up. I knew Garbett was in a room. I tried to throw it through the door frame, went over the second story and down on the other side. And I'm thinking, right, that would brain somebody. Like, I'm grateful there's not
well,
30 folk in here because I could brain somebody. But I was at one time thinking, nope, I'm not being
the thing
responsible for
is,
sending
the
somebody
number
else
of
to hell
times I've
with
thrown one
with a
at
concussion.
Jason now, we know they're safe to be thrown at somebody's head. Safe.
Empirical testing.
I don't think Jason's hearing would necessarily agree with the word safe. There is footage of me at Planet 4 trying to left-hand throw, and I went like that, and the grenade went straight up and landed at my feet. So yeah, left-hand throwing, not a strong point.
So that's why if I'm running with the grenades, what'll happen is I'll go from this, and it's that maneuver.
Yeah.
So it's the right hand.
Yeah.
Because I'm
We're
not
nowhere
going to throw
near
it with my
that
left
tactical.
hand. Well, that seems like a you problem, doesn't it?
Yes, it is.
But it is
skill
something.
issue.
It is
Right.
something because just very off the back of this, and off the back of Pro 4, I've decided to take the Pico launcher off of the Diana. For reasons
let's not talk about the negligent discharge in the safe zone, shall we?
Yeah.
Not this call. You can't have an expert.
But
Right.
I've decided to take the Pico off and get a Mayday Mark II. So it's this whole idea of how to balance the rig. But the idea is, as you said, it's taking it off and using the right hand throw. The answer is I'll just redesign the belt to support that particular thing, and I'll put the Mayday on the left, so I can just pull that out and do that. So yes, it's very much going to be that sort of thing. But you learn these things, and you go away, you have a wee think about it, and you think, right, well, let's do something different then. Okay, so yeah, on the basis that going back to the District 23, I would quite happily then basically use the right hand to throw and be prepared to open myself up to shots if necessary. Yeah.
How long have we got you left for, Adam? Another 15 minutes?
No, I've got
45
minutes. 30 minutes or so. So next game type was bomb defusal. So I bought myself a new prop. So this is a nice, simple bomb I found on Etsy. Seller was wonderful. I'll get David to put a link in the thing. Really communicative. Listen to feedback. It was a lot cheaper than I expected, given what some of the props we've seen have been. But you turn it on, you flip the switch, it comes up with a code you have to enter to prime it. And then it starts a 60-second time countdown. And the other team has 60 seconds to put in the code that's displayed. If you put in the wrong code, it locks you out for 10 seconds. And that's going to become important when we discuss the game. So we were on attack first round. And this is where I first or properly realized that my gear was totally, utterly wrong. So I was struggling to move around with that many mags on my belt, up and downstairs. I was struggling to move up and downstairs because my knees were knackered. So I was doing like Spectre said, you go back to the up part of the spawn, count for longer. And I was just putting a mag in my dump pouch and then rushing towards the bomb. At this point, I had the Maxim. So I tried the Maxim early in the day on a single trigger mod. Utterly terrible. So I literally, between rounds, took it apart, put the old back rev switch back in. It was the only thing I could hold and rev with my bust finger. And the Maxim, bless it, it's everything the Strife X should have been, and it's everything my Protean wants to be. The Maxim for me is it's kind of a perfect blaster for a flywheel. So attacking, it felt like it was me and Spectre just rushing and rushing and rushing at that bomb. I don't know how many times we activated it, but I know I activated it twice. I think you probably activated it once or twice.
I activated it once, and that was successful. The successful detonation.
Yeah. But yeah, it felt. I don't know how you felt about respect, but it did feel like it was you and me who were rushing it, and everyone else was just kind of giving us the covering fire to try and get there.
I don't even think I saw where the bomb was that entire game.
It was upstairs in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you went up the stairs inside the middle building, in the middle row, it was literally there.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to enjoy editing the footage because I'll be able to see actually what the games were.
Very awesome.
Yeah, I genuinely can't. I genuinely can't remember. I know about the game. I can't remember anything about it.
So I remember basically with the Wolf Runner guys were kind of fighting a lot on the downstairs level. And I was mostly trying to provide kind of cover for you. And then they started really pushing basically they had got control of that space where the bomb was and they had it on lock. And it was particularly hard because they had Darren in the basically on the opposite side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I possibly one of my favorite, but my best grenade throw all game, possibly one of my best grenade throws of my life, where I kind of underarm bowled it and it landed. Basically, it went all the way down all the way across the bridge, and hit the back wall of that space and went off, and that took out all of the people who were firing into that space. I don't know. I felt that everybody kind of was actively pushing. It was just because of the nature of how you and I are, we were the ones willing to throw ourselves at actually trying to
have a meat grinder and just get shot.
The button. But yeah, the lockout thing, that would have been good to brief people.
I forgot about it till it happened.
Oh, yeah, cool. I thought I was cocking it up because it was like, why aren't you entering? Why? And because it's on a lockout because Adam's just been shot from it up.
Yeah. So,
Um,
so first round we were attacking.
yeah.
I didn't keep track of the times, and I don't think it really mattered because I was just having a blast. And it was probably close anyway. But second round we were on defense. Yeah.
I'm just doing
so
my best Captain Picard impression now.
So this is where with the footage of you shouting about Ross and I'm getting the hat gets shot off. Somebody shouts the bomb's primed. It's like 10 seconds to go. I run at it. I think there's 11 seconds on the clock. And I'm blind. I type in the numbers, I get one wrong. It locks it out for 10 seconds. And Spectre comes in and he's tapping away. And I'm like, no.
Nah, we're buggered, mate. And I'm like,
Bucket.
why isn't it working? And you're like, because I've entered it wrong. I'm like, and I just took out my Diana and shot him in the crotch because he deserved
No, it was the PP. It was the PP.
Oh, was it the PP? Oh, fair
You
enough.
shot me with your PP.
I shot you in the PP with my PP.
With my PP,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like that prop is really nice. The bomb prop is really nice. It's really tactile. It's the right size. It is perhaps a little more complex than necessary, but I like the flexibility that it gives.
Yeah.
And certainly on at least one of the defense runs, I got to it with like 15 seconds left on it. And I was like, okay. And it like,
remember what you have to do.
don't get shot. And we're good.
So yeah, I'm really happy with that prop. Really happy with the game type. I'm looking forward to running it at Unit 26, where it's going to be upstairs.
See, I wasn't there, but I'm hearing Hellbomb Armed in my head there.
Probably, yeah. But that's probably its main issue. Is it isn't loud enough, and it could really do with linking to the speakers in the death counter boxes.
Yeah.
If it did that, it would just be bliss. But yeah, very happy with that. Very happy with game type. Very happy with how I performed other than that last 11 seconds.
Don't let the blind guy play with the explosives.
But yeah, total utter gear failure on that one for me. And as a result, I've bought some new gear for Unit 26 on these kind of games. So Ross has run a bandolier for quite a lot of games now, and seems to run it really well. And it's just the right kind of number of mags for me for those kind of games. So it's not in the way. It's 2 or 3 mags for which is what I was taking out. So yeah, very happy with that one. And then we finished. So we'd done a dart sweep by this point. So we finished with what the Fib 1-in 1-out game. So we had 4 players out in the arena at any one time, and we did it as pistols only, 2 mags only. So I brought the fire right back out because I could just about prime that with my hand. And then they came and told us about getting out, so I had to cut that one short. Yeah, happy with that.
You had your timing dynamite for that one.
Yes. Yes. So I was meant to run a game of bangos of dynamite. So kind of keep the dynamite out of your half of the arena. I don't think it would have worked in there because there wasn't a good halfway point. Whereas Unit 26 was the clear no man's land, so it is going to be nice and easy. But I'd forgotten my rock lipos. About 3 or 4 days before, I'd repacked and I'd gone, oh, I'm not taking anything that needs a lipo other than Maxim and the protein, and they all take the same lipo. I don't need all these Dean's ones. Stupid Adam. So luckily, we had one via Blue Icarian Wings with an adapter, so we did have one. These are 2 big sticks of dynamite with fulcrum caps on the end. They are lipo powered with a clockwork timer. There is no easy way to tell how long it's set for. There's like a 5 minute and a 15-minute gap. So you twist it somewhere there and you've got maybe 10 minutes, you've maybe got 12, maybe 8, I don't know. It makes a very audible tick tock, tick tock, tick tock as it's counting down. And when it goes off, it fires both caps at once, so it is quite loud. When I got it, I put it underneath my desk and forgot about it, and all I could hear was this tick tock, tick tock. And I'd say it for about 30 minutes. And I had no idea when it was going to go off. And I was in a call. Yeah, that was Panda Browningly. But yeah, so I'm very professional. I don't mess things up. So that'll be coming to Unique 26 for Vanguard's Dynamite, free in play. No Man's Land being the halfway point.
Do we need to remind you to bring your lipos, Adam?
They are packed. They're in the truck waiting.
But will you unpack them beforehand, thinking
Yes.
I don't need those lipos? So do we need to remind you on the day? Is the point I'm making? Okay.
So,
But you also went and labelled all of your lipos as well, like a proper organised
now.
geek.
Yes.
Yes.
He's named all his lipos. One
You
of them is
can
called
put
James.
the awkward boner. You can put the picture up. I'm happy for people to see my nerdiness. But yeah, so ended on that very quick exit. And the exit just kind of put a bit of a downer on it for me. Other than that, I would put it up there as one of the best events of this year, one of the best post-pandemic. Because
and I bloody missed it.
And you bloody missed it.
Yeah, I had a very good reason to do
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
But like I say, it's such a unique venue because it's that little bit of everything we've got elsewhere, but all rolled into one. And like I say, if it hadn't been for that exit, I'd have been rebooking immediately. As it is, yeah, somebody needs to give me good incentive going back. Tell Xavier he needs to come over here.
I'll do so next time we're fighting pirates in Elite Dangerous. I would say that I understand why from your perspective the exit was kind of frustrating, but I didn't feel particular like I felt I didn't feel it put a down on the day for me. If anything, I felt kind of like energized by it. But that's because I'm weird and that kind of stress hits buttons that make sense for me. The thing I would do for if you wanted to do Bomb Goes to Dynamite in an area where they like the real problem with Bomb Goes to Dynamite in this one was we were trying to put it in people's spawn.
Oh yeah.
And that just meant, well, as soon as somebody else respawns, they just grab it and off with it. So we need a place to put it that isn't
never. So it needs like duck hunt nests.
Yes,
a low traffic area essentially, or a lower traffic area.
Basically, go where's the rough center of the arena, and then put 2 buckets there, one on either side of the halfway line. So whichever one the bucket's in, but then you'll end up with a massive rock over that space.
Yeah.
You could bring multiple trucks and have it so like there's 3 or 4 per side as viable locations, and it has to be in one of those trucks.
Yeah, I like that actually. Like have or I mean, it doesn't have to be trunks. You could use the flux tiles for it.
Yeah.
Basically, these are
something that clearly
as long as it's somewhere obvious where it could be. Yeah. So for Unit 26, it's a smaller arena and a very clear center point. So that one will be if it goes off in your hand or in your half of the arena, it'll count as a lost point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
You're always going to introduce some
bucket.
Sorry, yeah, you're always going to introduce some level of a campable area when you do stuff like that, if it's not like a distinct half. But at the same time, that's a bit of a double-edged sword because, yes, the enemy team are going to be trying to attack those areas or put the dynamite in those areas, but that means it's a more target-rich environment. So, the defending team have got specific points to defend. The attacking team knows where they're trying to defend. So,
but one of the other things you could do is you could limit access, because one of the things I wanted to actually introduce as a potential for the next time we go back would be Dishforth. We've played Pushback numerous times. Okay.
Yeah. I remembered I
You
had
know what
them
you need to do?
to
You
hand.
need do another video of it just going off, okay? And we can set it so you got the proper camera. But for example, if you were to say, right, for that game only, you put one trug or one tile, so to speak, upstairs above each spawn, and then basically say, right, you cannot use the stairs inside the spawn. Okay, which means you cannot just go up the stairs, take it out and away. You have to come out and you have to actually
Yeah.
engage
Move
with
back
the
around, yeah.
landscape. Okay. Um, but one of the things I was saying was, but pushback, the idea, how would you do something like pushback in there? And you'd have to essentially say, right, well, you know what? We're going to have a way to move through it and we're going to intentionally block off points of access. Even just a tape over or something, just to say,
To be
no, you
honest,
cannot use
push
this.
back in there could be really nice. If we
Yeah.
did it like the Foundry one with the 1, 2, 3 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spectre.
The numbered,
I would
sequential tiles.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I think the tiles are like an idea in the sense of like having like demolition points, and again, you have three on each side, and that way you can never be sure which one it's at,
Bad. Yeah.
and you could be like, oh, okay, it's at this one, and then you'd have to get it off. But
Food for
you'd have
thought.
to. Yeah, I like the general concept of it, and certainly the idea of it. Kind of if you have an arena that has a very clear red/blue
Demarcation, yeah.
demarcation, then it's going to be a lot easier. Sorry, I'm trying to actually get to the Unit 26, 26 till Christmas event so that I could make sure that I had the time off and that I'd booked leave. I'm pretty sure it's a day that I definitely have because I've.
If you don't
signed.
find it by the end of the video, Spectre, I'll send you the details on. So I've got you on my Facebook, so I can do that.
So
But yeah,
anything. So
like I say, other than the exit, which was a big downer for me, and I can understand Spectre, obviously, he ticks differently to me. I think from an organising point of view, it pissed me off, did the exit. But great to see the Wolferana guys. Really nice venue because it's so different to anything we've got because it's everything we've got elsewhere but all rolled into one. Downer because I bust my finger. Upper because the gear was working really nicely. I've touched on it before in previous videos on earlier in this. I've had a bad year for gear failures. I've screwed stuff up. I've broken things. I've had wheels come off. My seagull's not worked properly for most events. This one, everything worked as I expected it to. The problem was me not being able to hold a blaster. So the max
or
was
not
great.
hit your finger on a wall as you're running past.
Just, I didn't even catch it on video. I turned the video off by then. That was the other thing. I got myself a new camera. So
yes.
The Unit 26 footage has mostly Boneheed. I'd picked up a cheap thing off AliExpress, like 12 quid, and it did 2K-ish, vaguely okay.
It was potato quality, let's be honest.
It was potato quality, but it's still good to have an extra piece of footage.
It
Whereas
didn't
this
handle
one,
movement. If you were
no,
stationary, it was all
it
right.
was okay. Yeah.
It gave, yes, it was still potato quality, but like for example, it didn't really show you darts in flight. It didn't have the frame rate. It didn't have the color quality.
Yeah.
But in terms of for 12 quid, you could have done a lot worse. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you wanted something for your own personal memories, absolutely not a problem with it. If you wanted something to contribute to the videos, you know that I want to try and produce videos. They're still
Better quality. Yeah.
yeah, they're not Michael Bay movies. Let's be quite frank.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
but better quality footage always gives better quality results.
So this one, I'd got myself an Osmo Action 5, and the step up is just amazing. I watched my footage back and was discussing it with Fulcrum, and it's like I always have with Unit 26. The moment I watch footage, I want to go back. I had the same with District 23, but just not enough that I was going to go say I want to do it. If somebody wants to run it, I'll be happily up there to play.
So it's not that it happened, it's the fact that it happened to you.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not feeling any pressure at all in this podcast.
Spectre and FIB were looking in your direction.
Balls to it, I'll do it then. I'll just organise it.
Yeah. David, do it. You do it, mate.
But yeah,
you really want me to organise an event?
The only
I think
genuinely,
I think you do a good job.
Yeah.
And like
right.
between me and Adam, between us, we can help you out with dart pools and everything. Just you be the responsible adult for once.
All right, fine, done. That's what we'll do. Right,
adult.
Awesome. Unit 23.
No, part of the organised event now.
District 23 brought to you
sorry,
by
can we just
Farrell come up behind him and slap him?
Yeah, if you just hear this hand all of a sudden, okay? Just,
what have you agreed to now?
Yes.
Yeah, like I say, great venue.
Yes,
would happily go back, just not soon enough for me because of just that little bit of a downer.
You've been burned a little bit. I get it.
Yeah.
I think the thing with that though is maybe just communication from the venue a little bit better would have been nice, because if they'd have said, by the way, you need to be out by 3, you'd have known that and you'd have started packing up at 2:30. But it is what it is. You're expecting different things from different venues, and they maybe don't work on the same schedules. They don't work on the same principles.
We've had really good. So Foundry was amazing. Unit 26 is amazing. Eyeballs prior to the staff change have been really good. Laser Mania when I started were really good. Dropped off. Dishford were pretty good. Quarry they were great to deal with. So yeah, would happily go back. Just I probably don't want to run it immediately. Unless somebody gives me
David's
going to
do it.
Yeah. No, genuinely, once I explained it to Sarah off mic, she's like, yeah, cool, absolutely. So, Adam, you want to pass me the connection details for who it was that you spoke to? And I'll see if we get it organised. You do realise, though, that you've basically trusted the individual to organise it, whose partner has an entire room devoted to customising things.
Yeah.
Customizing t-shirts in particular.
Feature, not bug.
I feel as if though I have basically just I feel as if I've just put Sarah into the candy store and just went, on you go.
Yeah.
So the t-shirt.
This is going to be great.
This t-shirt.
So obviously we have a phrase between us for meth toddler.
Yes.
So we have plastic crack. We buy way too much gear. I turned up to a 4-star hotel for a anniversary weekend with my wife, wearing meth toddler, and I totally forgot about it. So it was only when we actually got up to the room and I went, why was she looking at me a bit weird?
It has very different connotations when you don't understand what toddling meth actually means, because people assume you're actually into meth.
I think the financial planning service is bit at the bottom of it. Really sort of helps phrase the concept a bit more. Whereas earlier on, Bonehead's t-shirt just said meth toddler, and that was all it was, right? You couldn't see the financial planning services bit, okay? And
it's accurate. What can I say?
Yeah. But that was basically a thing that I'd done for the periods, just because it was I hadn't seen it in a while.
I should probably also point out that this t-shirt was delivered with a Quinlan that I bought from Tartan as well. So I had spent quite a considerable amount of money to get this t-shirt.
Yeah. You'd very fairly reimbursed me for purchasing the Quinlan of me.
Yes.
Yes. At which point in time, I will inevitably put the picture up of you grinning like a lunatic.
In fairness, I don't like bolt action, and I tried the Quinlan and it's wrong. I couldn't get my head around it. But it's so nice to use because it's so tactile. It's just
yes, it's a weighty beast. It absolutely
Especially
is.
because my quarry and the seagull just.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my first swear.
Yeah.
No. That's not
No,
your
no.
first swear. Your first swear was about 10 seconds in,
Oh,
mate.
you f***ed it all up now.
Stop fucking swearing. Yeah, no, the Quinlan, yeah, it's a weighty beast, but it's just so lovely to use. It's, shoulders really well. It's the mag release is awesome. Just the whole bolt action, so slow, so light a prime and so smooth. Compared to something like a Seagull at 300, that's just really, you need to really mean it when you prime it.
Yeah.
The Quinlan's lovely
My
rifle.
my
but,
Swift is 280, but it's a workout to prime it. Whereas I can imagine the Cunlin, it's almost pinky prime.
Yeah, it's so light. It's honestly, it's amazing. I'm currently decorating my spare room, so my collection is currently spread out between the spare room, the bedroom, the living room. I've got blasters on the back of my living room door, and there's a box with my regular stuff next to my work desk. So when I'm at work next week, at some point I will be on camera with a shoe rack full of blasters, pistols behind me, and I will have my emotional support Quinlan by my side at some point, and will no doubt have to kind of caress it for my colleagues' benefit. So yeah, they've got that to look forward to. They don't know it yet.
So if you would like to raise money for Boneheed's bail fund,
they know it's
Previously on
Nerf.
Tag Talk, Bonehead explained his plans for work. This week on Tag Talk, we're helping Bonehead polish up his CV.
Now, they all know it's Nerf, and it has got Dong B car, which has quite distinctly got an orange tip on it, so they know it's not real. Now they're all well aware of my particular
not gonna lie,
issues.
I have done that. I was working on something whilst I was on a Teams call with my boss, and I kind of just moved it and put it aside, and I just hear, Spectre, is that a gun? I'm like, oh no, it's a Nerf blaster. And fortunately, it was a stock paint job one, but it was afterwards I got the. Could you maybe not do that on Teams ever again?
I won the one of the Staff of the Year awards last year, and we needed a picture for the wall. Yeah, so we needed a picture for the wall. So I sent them the picture of me from Nerf Mania where I've got the Chris Vector and something like this. And our head of HR is, maybe we can't put that on. I'm very happy for
okay
you
with
to
it.
because I am that silly.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't wear these for work calls though, so just pointing that out. But yeah, the stuff behind me is all.
Oh yeah, so your work knowing that you Nerf is fine, but knowing you're a secret furry isn't.
They've all seen pictures of me with my purple fluffy ears on in game day, so they know what I'm into. They know the stuff. But no, the blasters that will be behind me are all like standard stock coloured stuff. So it's all my. I will never use these in a game, but I want them. Pistols. So it's some of the Fortnite stuff, some of the Elite 2.0 stuff and whatnot, but you wouldn't mistake them for actual firearms, put it that way.
Yeah, I had a.
What is that? What is that?
That's the King of VM Dynamite.
It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't prime it, honest.
Yo, Adam, you're perfectly fine with shell ejecting stuff at your games, right?
Yes. I have a Firefly.
How do you feel about delinking belt?
Yeah.
Oh God!
Have you got a
no,
mower?
I know what's
no.
coming. I know what's coming.
You have way more money than Sans, and yes, we know that. Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
It's my Christmas present. My wife's buying it for me.
In fairness, if it wasn't so expensive, yes, I'd have bought a Moab. And if it wasn't long darts, if it was short darts, yeah.
You can use them with short darts.
Can you? Ooh. Don't say that. Don't.
Yeah. So the thing is, you're not the first person to be like, oh, it's long darts. I'm like, I don't use long darts so much. Yeah, but the thing about those shells, right, is it doesn't matter. All of the power is in the springer behind it.
Yeah.
So Volcom has actually shown you on his stream that you can put two half darts in it. Look, Volcom is a very enthusiastic young man, and he is kind of hard to watch sometimes, but he does he has been very useful in with the Moab stuff, because that's how I got to handle the Moab in the first place when I was over in the US.
Question on the Moab then: if it's normally however many rounds it is, and you can actually put two short darts in place of one long dart, what does that take the rate of fire up to?
Yes.
Ludicrous.
I think the answer is it's quite literally yes, isn't it?
Like, so I'll be clear. One of the major reasons I'm getting it is because I also want a minigun prop for Stargate, and it hits all of the, like, it's got the backpack, it's got the feed link, it's got. Stop making that face, David. It's gonna be great.
It's not that. It's not that. It's the phone call I'm going to get when you're coming down to my event. The simplest is, so I got stopped by the police randomly, and because I've got this matte black minigun in the car, they're now asking me some very pointed questions.
Oh no! See, the best part for that is I've got like 11 different like good reasons for owning this. Like, so Silver Touch Technical Services, which is my theatrical production company, has a registered license as a theatrical armorer, so that's fine. And N7 Customs prints custom blasters for people, and I'm also a member of several different airsoft and other kind of organizations to allow me to purchase other realistic imitation weapon systems. So a 3D printed minigun is the least of the things that I have to worry about transporting. But yeah, the Moab is one of those things where I genuinely don't think I could allow myself to continue knowing it was possible for me to own one and not
I
owning it.
totally get it.
Yeah.
Like it will almost certainly never attend a game, because it's such a stupid like it's stupid in the best way, right?
It's the kind of thing you take to Grim Up Nerf just to show the kids, to make them excited about the hobby.
You'd never use it because it's impractical as hell, because it takes 7 weeks to reload and then is out of ammo in a second.
You take it to Foam Fest and you wear it with the armor, and you're just kind of doing the I am heavy weapons guy. It takes an hour of loading and 30 pounds worth of darts to fire this blaster for 10 seconds. Because it does. It takes an hour.
But it's the best 10 seconds of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a wonderful video from, like, not last Foam Fest, but I think the Foam Fest before, where it's me and Virus who have both got the
Super Drums,
the motor tier.
Oh yeah.
So it's 30 rounds shell ejecting full auto, and it's just the two of us.
Nice noise.
It makes the best noise, and it's the two of us firing firing together in sync, and there's just this 5 or 6 glorious seconds of Dakar and shells tinkle, and then you just hear at the edge of hearing Hellfire York going, I hope somebody filmed that. I'm like, yes, that was indeed why we were there.
We forgot to film the Pico to my face.
Yeah.
We were going to put 50 cal balls in his 15
you can
slot.
put 50 cal balls in the Moab as well.
That'd just be ridiculous.
That is what's the rate of fire? Yes, isn't it? That's just like
6 balls, 7 balls per tube.
I think 5 was the recommended amount, because then you've got a little bit of space at the end of the shell, so there's no risk of the shells jamming up.
Yeah.
Because the thing about the Moab, and like you'll see it in some of the videos, is its opinion on jams is no, I'm not. Because it will just chew the darts out, chew the dart out. So, but yeah, I've just been like, I've been watching it since, like, I've actually got to handle one in the US, and they're just silly, and I love it. And I was like, I every so often I'd looked at it, because they've had them on their website for like a couple of years now, where they're like $4,000 to buy an assembled version, because the assembled version is basically, that is the price, because I don't want to make them for people. But if people want to give me a stupid amount of money, I will make them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every so often I've looked at that and gone, I really want one. If it's for $4,000, if I spend not just more money than I paid for my first car, but 10 times what I paid for my first car, I will probably get divorced, and rightly so. But the Kickstarter is like 350 quid.
300. Yeah, I don't. I think it's 268. I think by the
No,
time you
it's
do it,
once you add in shipping and
yeah,
the the assumed import tax, because I always like to do that. I worked out at like 350. I think it was $350, which works out at like 320 quid.
yeah.
It's it's FDL money, it's SBF money, but it's still
And
completely
then you
reasonable.
have to print it and print the shells and feed the shells.
I've loaded
I
the
have
shells.
two 3D printers.
Yeah.
Like I'm the 3D printing side of it, I'm not worried about. Like it's the fact of the and like I've been talking to Gatling Tommy about it, and I'm sorry we've kind of derailed this chat now because we're talking about the Moab.
We do
But
this every time. Don't worry.
yeah,
He
Part of the
just he
course,
just
Banner.
looks fed up.
but I
No,
messaged.
it's the I've this is like day 5 of me having like this absolute pain in the ass cold. And my nose is starting to run. I've got a blinding headache, and I'm just like, nothing personal with you guys. It's not the conversation. It's the fact that right now I don't think I got enough pain relief in the house right now to deal with this headache. I'm just like, ow.
Oh, buddy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
I
I
also
mean,
have
like,
to go because my shopping is literally round the corner. So
okay,
Yeah. In
Adam,
short,
it's been very nice to have you on the show as per usual. Once again, thank you for completely derailing the conversation.
You're welcome.
we,
It's what we
we
do.
should just have chats and chill and talk. You know?
Yeah.
that's what
Isn't
we
that
play
what we're doing now?
Helldivers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
That means
don't
buying Helldivers.
Don't mention the H word. Adam's being tight.
How
He would-
much?
He would have to buy Helldivers and then the PlayStation
And PlayStation
equivalent
Live, yeah,
live
whatever it is,
thing
network.
for however
Or
monthly,
Yeah,
whatever.
Master Race.
fine.
Yeah, or join the PC Master Race. But yeah,
I
you're
don't
missing
have
out.
I don't
Helldivers
have
is great.
space for a PC. In fairness, my work laptop would run it with a dream.
Oh yeah, I can absolutely see the HR conversation. And why have you installed this fascist satire onto your web?
Hopefully, Hugo from work is going to come and you'd understand why I've got a very nice laptop. Thank you, Hugo.
Right. So thank you everybody for taking part in Tag Talk. It's been fun as always. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, David, for hosting, and thank you
For volunteering
Vinny,
to run the
for-
next event.
Yeah,
Yes,
being
definitely.
voluntold.
Not the next event. Okay, you still got that one for Unit 26. Okay, just pass me on the details.
February.
I'll check my calendar and see.
February.
What have I
But
got
yes,
in
also
February?
thank you for having me, despite the fact I wasn't at the event. I should have been, but didn't go. But it's always nice to appear.
Thank you to Rolf Arana for turning up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great event. A little letdown.
Do you think
Happy to
District
go back.
23 is going to do an event on Valentine's Day?
Probably.
Oh no, I doubt it. I'd
Right.
love to do a Valentine's Day themed game. I can absolutely come up with some game ideas for that.
No, 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 because I don't trust you and the props that would be involved. Okay.
Look, we've already discussed Dong Beatar
So-
and the what was it? What was it? The one that Ginge posted? It was the dildo bayonet. I think it was a dildo net.
So there has been at least one game where a giant cuddly plushy penis has been the objective. Not at one of my games, but
Did
a
it have
game
super
I've
samples
attended.
under it?
I like the YouTube channel is marked as not for kids. I don't want to have it getting like an 18 plus rating. So yeah, no. The idea being, I will work out what it is just now for availability.
See, the problem is that mercury's poisonous.
Only if you touch it.
Yeah, but that means I can't use it as an objective. I can't make players carry little shot glasses full of mercury.
You could give them thermometers and let them carry those.
That doesn't really
you know
sell
what we're
the
going to
super
do?
sample
We're going to
vibe.
make you dress up in a giant nappy with a little set of wings, and we're going to make you the target so we've all got to shoot you. If nothing else, for my therapy.
Look, just because I've already got the costume doesn't mean I'm going to bring it to a Nerf event.
And on that note,
good night.
This was Tag Talk. Thank you for having us.